welcome back, everybody, to episode 53 of the No Nonsense Sports Podcast. This week we are missing Ant, at least to start the show. He might pop in later. But to make up for that, we brought in a good friend of ours, Tyson. He's been on here before. He's back on now for multiple reasons. One, like I said, wanted a full cast tonight. And two, his Chargers didn't start out so hot. We're going to kind of feel for him if he's panicking or if he's going to be patient with it. But say what's up to everybody, Tyson.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hey, thanks for having me again. I always enjoy coming on.
Yeah, we appreciate you having you. So let's just dive straight into this, man. What's going on with your Chargers?
I mean, what's not going wrong is the real question. I mean, from the top down, we all know, like, I think the last time we all had a conversation, we said Staley needed to go as well as Joe Lombardi. And it's showing that now. Like, leading back to last year, we're on a 4-game losing streak. From the top down, I feel like he's losing that locker room. There was, after our game last week, Austin Eckler even said that there are times our coaching is a little questionable. So if you have players coming out and saying things like that, I think he's losing the locker room. So starting from Coach Staley. But that's not giving a pass on the defense because they're playing like complete ass as well. I mean, we got all that money invested. Bosa, Mac, Derwin, JC. Give that personnel to like a Belichick. That's the top defense in the league. No, we're not giving them to the Commanders, but it's just a whole lot going on. So from the top down, Staley, he's on the hot seat right now. You can see it in his post-game interviews. And there are a lot of things going on right now, and I am a little worried.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. We made a bet.
Oh, yeah, let me go to that.
The last time you were on here, it was probably one of the last times I was on the episode.
Yeah.
What was the bet?
I got it right here.
Over under 9.5. I said under, and right before we started the show, I took a look at your schedule. So that would mean you can't lose 5 more games, right?
No, we can lose 5 more.
No, 9.5. You can't go 9-7. Oh yeah, you could.
No, we go 10-7.
Yeah, 17.
Remember the 17 games.
Yeah, 17 games.
So we could lose 5 more games.
Yeah, can't lose 6.
Can't lose 6. Okay. Well, yeah. I thought it was 5, but I was looking at the schedule right before we started here.
Johnny was cheesing, huh? He said,
I see 5 very easily could be lost. You got the Vikings Sunday. I saw 2 weeks from now, you got the Cowboys. That's a losable game. After that, you got the Chiefs. Could lose. 2 weeks after that, you got the Lions. I mean, could go either way, realistically. 2 weeks after that, you got Ravens. Could go either way.
Damn, it's a tough ass
3
schedule.
weeks. It
is because we still got the Bills too.
The Bills and the Chiefs again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the hardest I've heard.
And to be completely honest, yeah, like those are some crazy games, and I'm worried because if we don't get something figured out by this week, it's complete panic mode. Like even before our bye week, so our bye week is week 5. If we're not 2-2 at the bye week,
I looked at it and I was like,
Staley.
They very easily could be 0-3. I would hope you come back and beat the Raiders, but then right after that, you got the Cowboys.
That's a division.
Right after that, you got.
And the reason why we need to go 2-2 is because we come back and play the Cowboys and the Chiefs, which we're gonna be the underdogs, heavy underdogs.
2-4.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying
that could be a real possibility.
That's a real possibility.
The back. Well, see, that's what I wanted to ask you is like, what's the timetable on Eckler? Like, what's the word going around right now? Because I know you said about his ankle and him milking it, kind of. Like, what's going on?
I mean, to be completely honest, like I don't know if you were watching the game week 1. I mean, yeah, he tweaked it. He tweaked it. You know what I mean? Like, of course, the next day is probably worse. But like I said, I was listening to the Locked On Chargers this morning. They were talking about how like the word around town and LA like nation is he's milking his injuries, and it's like a common thing for like running backs right now because of the whole thing that's going on.
Oh yeah,
them not being paid.
They held a whole meeting before the season.
Yeah, so
look, we hurt and we out here and our production drops because we're playing injured, fighting through pain and shit. Let's just stop doing that.
Right. So it could be. I'm not like accusing him of doing that.
He didn't even practice it. He wasn't limited. He didn't practice today at all.
Right.
No.
He tweeted his ankle, and in the back of his mind, he's probably like, "You see, this is why I wanted my money because
He didn't even
Right.
get in, bro. He didn't even.
Well,
do
every
indies
game's not
today.
promised."
To
He
me,
didn't get no
you
indies,
can't
bro.
blame him. Like if
Yeah,
you're not,
No,
if
they
I'm
turned
going
his
out there,
contract down today.
like if I'm going out there playing hurt, and obviously I'm not the best I can be, why would I do that anymore?
Yep.
Right.
I'm just going to get completely healthy and then show you how good I actually can be healthy. Like
I'm not mad at him at all.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I
straight
am
up.
mad about? The fact that he wasn't in, and I picked up Josh Kelly, and y'all gave him the ball 9 times. That's what I'm mad about.
But you also got to think about Tennessee's run defense. They were
You
one
didn't use
last
him in-
year.
You didn't use him in a pass game at all.
Yeah, he's never been in the pass game.
That's
When
because
we use him-
Eckler's there for the pass game, but now that he's not, I was expecting
Right.
some of that workload to drop.
Nah, Kelly got brick hands.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Speaking of not using the running back that I picked up for no reason, apparently, how are we feeling about Kellen Moore's play calling first 2 weeks?
So I like it a lot. I mean, week 1, you see our run game. I had 240 yards rushing, almost 2 guys over 200 or over 100 yards rushing. So I like it a lot. If the run is there, take it. The only problem that I have with Kellen Moore's play calling as of right now is the situational play calling. So like the end of the game last week, a couple of those play calls was real suspect. Like you see that disaster that happened in overtime, the 3-and-out. I don't know if that was him, if that was Herbert. Something's not right there. Something's not right. Maybe they're not on the same page. But
Like
the
a
play
chemistry
calling was
issue?
yeah, because that shit was just a disaster. So I mean, this was the problem with Dallas. Like, yeah, he was a great play caller, but when it came down to when shit mattered,
He was running
Like,
crunch time.
2 offensive linemen running hits route.
yeah, he had Zeke playing
At center.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like in the situation, no stuff, I feel like he could still turn it around because I mean at the end of the day we have Herbert and they had Dak Prescott. So I think like they'll get to some type of mold there that will work. But for the most part, I love it. I mean, we put up 58 points in 2 games. You really can't beat that with a new
Who y'all played? Y'all played Tennessee, and then week 1 you played
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
You know what I mean? And that's 2 completely different teams. That's the
Yeah,
high-flying team.
Yeah, completely
We
different.
scored with
offenses,
them.
Defenses, yeah.
And we was in the trenches with Tennessee.
Let both of those games slip away that you easily could have won both of those too. It's not
Oh,
like
no.
100%. We should have won both of
The
them.
fact that
Yeah,
y'all
I
lost
mean,
to the
to
Titans and Derrick
Tennessee,
Henry
yeah.
didn't have 100 yards. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was
He
possible.
wasn't even. Yeah, if
I
you
were to-
let
I were to
Tennessee
tell- yeah,
score
if I were to tell you
20
Tennessee what Derrick Henry wasn't going to run for 100 yards, you'd have thought you won by 15.
easily,
it made Tannehill look like him.
he went 20 for 24. I don't
He
think
got
that's ever
there.
happened in his career. Like not
He got
even
there
like back
slinging
in
a
Pee
rock
Wee.
like me, Jesus. That's
I don't know
crazy,
who that
honestly.
DC is, but man, Tannehill's
It's-
not giving me 20
Brandon-
for
it's
24.
Brandon
Staley
Staley, bro. It's
is
their head
calling
coach.
he's calling our
Oh,
defensive plays. Yes.
Yeah, he has a go.
That's why they wanted to fire it after he blew the 27-point lead in the playoffs.
I
Like,
didn't
bro,
know that.
all you had to do was give up a touchdown on one possession, and we would have won this game.
So we promoted our old defensive back coordinator to defensive coordinator, but it's still Staley calling the plays, play by play.
So
So it's like,
what's the point of him being a DC?
I mean, that's you've seen that plenty of time, like with Bieniemy in Kansas City. What's the point?
Yeah,
of
but
having-
you like your head coach calling your plays like Andy Reid's offense. But I feel like defensive minded coach like Ron Rivera is a defensive minded coach. He still has a DC. D'Amico Ryans is a defensive minded coach. He doesn't call his own defensive plays. Mike Vrabel is a defensive minded coach. He doesn't call his own defensive plays. Head coaches don't call defenses because there's way too much shit you got to pay attention to. Halftime adjustments, all that shit. You don't got time to worry about that shit.
so let me read off these defensive numbers too. So this is coming from the defensive guru with the Rams, number 1
I
defense
bet.
when he was there.
Because my next question for you is what's your biggest issue? We're about to find out right here, I guess.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So this goes hand in hand.
Let's
My
go
biggest
straight to
issue
it.
right now is our defense. Well, and Staley. So that does go hand in hand as well. All right. So we're 30th right now in points per game allowed at 31.5.
Yeah, y'all are trash. We
That's
knew that.
crazy. We're last in yards per game allowed. Just throw out a number.
Well, let's see. You gave up 496 to Tua alone. You're probably pushing like 950 yards two games. Probably like 425 on average.
438. We're
Per
giving
game?
up 438 yards a game as of right now,
You're
which is last. We're giving up 333 passing yards a game, which is last. We're giving up 6.9 yards per play.
per play.
Per play.
Insane.
We allowed 18 big plays, which is 31st, second to last.
You mean to tell me through 2 weeks you giving up 18 plays over 20 yards?
Yeah. And then did you see the receivers for Tennessee the one who had that, I think it was Traylon Burks, like we know his name or whatever. He had that 70-yarder, which was big. And then I can't even tell you
Tyreek probably had
who got
8
the
of them.
49-yarder. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, if they don't have it, if he doesn't have it figured out by week 8, he can't make
You're
it to
giving-
the season.
No, I'm saying I know Don, you're gonna ask this question later, but
Nah, dive into
if-
it, bro.
okay, so we're
dive
gonna go and
into
get to it. If we're not 2-2 by the bye week, he's got to go. The only problem is the Chargers are not known for getting rid of head coaches in the middle of the season. We haven't done that since '98. So
Yep. But yo, I just don't see how you guys can keep wasting years with this talent. Like when I look at your roster, I'm like, yo, this is
I'm
a
telling
Super
you,
Bowl
that
caliber
defense
team. Like,
is probably one of the most star-studded
yeah,
defenses
it's
you
unreal.
will ever see. And to give up numbers like that doesn't make sense.
Bro,
just like I said,
but it's
give these
not-
guys the Belichick.
It's not even
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact
Super
that
Bowl.
it's star study, because don't get me wrong, it is. But we gotta look at the position group too. You have a top 10 pass rusher on the edge at each side. You have a top 3 safety behind you. And then you have one of the best turnover creating corners on the right side of the field. So at every level, you have an elite guy. Like, it's not like, for instance, Washington. Our D line is elite, star-studded. We got all the power. But then after that, I mean, we don't got nobody else. Y'all are so spread out defensively. You would think, like, if one guy didn't show up, the other guys would.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You think Staley makes it past the bye week? Truthfully, do you think you end up 2-2?
I mean, at this point, I'm not putting nothing. If it comes down to Chargers winning or losing, I'm gonna just watch the game. But we need to go 2-2 in order for Staley to keep his job. But if not, they gotta relieve the defensive play calling from him. Let the guy that you just promoted, let him take over that, and let Brandon Staley get a grasp of like what's going on in the football game.
Yeah. The only
And
reason
coach.
I know you said it hasn't happened since '98, but the reason I think it's a real possibility this year is Kellen Moore had head coaching opportunities, and he turned them down to be an offensive coordinator for you guys for a reason.
Yeah, because I feel like he had an idea like,
Yeah, he knows what he's walking into. Like, if
yeah,
I bring this
Staley not
offense-
gonna get it right.
if I can unlock Justin Herbert and we can throw the ball more than 3 yards per attempt, which is I think right around where he was at last year. He had the lowest yards per attempt
It
in
was
the
bad.
NFL last year. So like it was bad. And after the first 2 weeks, I mean, you're seeing it. He's opening it up. Herbert's taking a lot more shots, finding a lot more deep eggs. Like, if Staley doesn't get it figured out, I think you guys are okay. I think Kellen Moore just goes in there and your defense is still gonna suck, but you suck anyway.
Yeah,
Staley's
but-
got to
but-
go.
But that's
Staley's gotta
something's got to change on that side.
You're not a defensive minded head coach, and you're damn near dead last in every defensive statistic.
Yeah.
The
What
only
needs
thing
to
you're not
happen
is
for you
rushing.
guys to get this win on Sunday?
Huh? To get this win, we gotta
Other than-
create 1 or 2 turnovers, big turnovers, and
It's not gonna happen.
we gotta score with these guys because that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna put 30 on us.
You do realize this is 1:00 Kirk Cousins coming to play.
He said it's not prime time
This
Kirk,
ain't prime
so that
time
means
Kirk, bro.
he's
Buddy's going
Yeah.
for 450 and 5.
Yeah, and JJ
Sounds
probably gonna go for 200.
I was literally telling Johnny this today because I'm in a predicament, right? In one of my fantasy leagues. I got Jordan Addison going against y'all's trash ass. But I got Terry
Well,
McLaurin.
you would think probably JC Jackson. I mean, he's going to get his regardless, Jefferson. But I would hope JC Jackson's on him at all times. Right?
Why? Tyreek gave him 210 catches and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, was he on him the whole game? I didn't watch the game.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
JC
so-
stays on the right
so-
side of the field.
Oh,
JC
But-
does not travel.
Yeah. Well, not in our system. Yeah,
he does not travel.
not,
bro.
not like Belichick.
Yeah, never. I was assuming he did, and I was going to say that Addison's got to go for at least 100.
Yeah, no. But anyway, I got him going against y'all, and I got Terry McLaurin going against the Bills. I like the Addison matchup better, but I think the Bills and Washington's gonna be such a shootout that I kind of want to start Terry. And if Tyreek can go for 200 on 10 catches, they didn't use Jalen Waddle. They didn't need to. So, like, do I really
Yeah.
think they're going to need to use Jordan Addison against you guys? Or I think Justin Jefferson's going to go for 250 and 2 touchdowns?
Be a shootout.
Yeah.
What, between
I-
Buffalo and Washington?
Not shootout as far as how we think of a shootout. He's saying they're going to be.
We're gonna
losing,
we're
but
gonna
they
need
have
to score. We're gonna
Right.
need to score to keep up because we're not gonna be. We give up 30 to Denver. Buffalo's gonna put up 30. So for us to have a chance, we're gonna need to put up 30. There's just no way around that. But anyway, off topic. So yeah,
Yeah, so we're gonna have to create turnovers, take care of the ball, and make key stops when it's needed. We need our guys to show up. I mean, they're hearing everything that we're saying right now, so it's time for them to bite down and get busy. I need Derwin to make a big play for us. He hasn't done that yet, which I don't like how Staley's even using him right now. He got him over the field way too fucking much. Like, clearly, our back end is struggling. Get him off the line. Stop breaking him up on pressures with Tua, who throws the ball in half a second. Like, it's literally wasting them out there on the field. So go ahead and keep him back there, help him out with the secondary. And he's also shuffling J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel, and Mike Davis. Like, our three corners, why are they shuffling in and out so they can't even get in the rhythm? Like, I've never seen a coach
yeah, that's
sub
crazy.
corners in and out. I've never seen that.
Our only corner that isn't playing 100% of snaps is Emmanuel Forbes, and that's because they only bring him in on 3 corner sets. Kendall Fuller and Benjamin St. Juste play 100% of snaps.
Yeah, no, he was literally rotating. This last game, he was
You
rotating.
can't do that.
That
You
is
can't do that. Yeah, yes, Johnny. Yeah, you play football. You play
Can't.
feedback too, right?
Absolutely not.
You need to be in the game, getting your feet wet, getting that sweat flowing. Like, I don't understand what concept that is. Like, I understand like
that's-
JC is slacking, but if you think he's slacking, get him out the game completely.
The best thing you can do for, especially for a guy like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, keep giving them new guys. Like, just keep bringing in new corners and just so the one corner who's in the game can't figure them out. So, yeah, I mean, you keep rotating, they're going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like one of these teams are going to be 0-3 on Sunday.
yes,
Like if I would have
yeah,
asked
it's
you guys
wild.
at the beginning of the season, like the Vikings or Chargers are going to be 0-3, you guys would have looked at me crazy.
I would have looked at you crazy because I have no shot in hell the Chargers were losing to the Titans, and the Vikings never stood a chance of losing to the Bucks week 1. But
All right,
Yes.
well, so I got a question then. So
that's why they're on the
I'd,
that list.
out of these 0-2 teams, which one do you guys think could turn it around and possibly be like a playoff team? I'm gonna go with the Chargers, Vikings, the Bengals, and Broncos.
I'll
Broncos
start
are
here. The Bengals, I think, have started at 0-2 4 out of the last 5 years. So that, to me, that makes the most sense.
But it's different circumstances because Joey B is clearly dinged up bad. His calving, right? And he just tweaked it at the end of the game against the Ravens.
Is
Like
he
if-
playing Sunday?
He's on
supposed to be-
schedule.
Yeah,
He's on
he's supposed to be
schedule.
playing, but he even said like, yeah, like I tweaked it again. And you know how them calves is like, they not to play with, especially because that leads to that Achilles shit too.
Yep.
So
Look, here's my thing. 0-2 it ain't the Broncos because they're 0-3 after this week. There's no shot for them. They're not beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins might be the best team in the AFC. That's how
Check on
good
mine.
their offense looks. And then you said the Chargers, they got a chance, but
I think they have the toughest schedule out of.
that's what
These
I'm saying.
0-2,
I just
yeah.
don't like it. And I have faith in the fact that Joe Burrow is going to bounce back more so than I do with Herbert because I've never seen Herbert do it. He doesn't win. He's not a winner. Like, I don't trust it.
I mean, you can't.
I'm not
really,
blaming.
say
I'm not blaming Herbert as much as I'm blaming you guys as the Chargers. Like, you have we just talked about all this talent you guys have. But
Yeah.
you always play down to the level of your competition. Doesn't matter who you're playing, bro. You could play literally what the Giants looked like against the Cardinals, what Washington looked like against the Cardinals. That's what you guys would look like against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like, we all do the same
Yeah.
shit. We
No, that's
play
a
to the
fact.
level of competition. Like, we're not gonna go out like Dallas beating the shit out of the fucking Giants. That's not what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We're gonna play every game close and we're gonna hope we win it. But I like the Bengals in that situation. But
I mean, they got a pretty tough stretch there too. I'm looking at
They
it.
do.
They play Seattle, San Fran, Buffalo, and they got the Houston game. Then they play Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, the Colts, the Vikings, Pittsburgh again, the Chiefs, and then they finish the season with the Browns. So,
Yeah,
Where
it's
did you just list all their games? Is that what you just did? Or were you trying to list the tough games? Because you said the Colts and that threw me off.
no,
I
that
yeah,
was
didn't
all
listen.
the games.
I
Okay.
just listed the end.
Yeah, that was all the games.
Nah, we're not big on the Colts over here. Nah,
I'm big on the Colts this week. Anyway.
only named
mean,
2 defensive players earlier.
That shit was crazy. I looked at their whole lineup. They only got 2 guys that I know. Anyway, it was crazy. They're so bad. Anyway, back to it. Week 2 was the week of comebacks during that 4 o'clock time stretch. We had the Giants coming back from 28 down, and we had Washington coming back from 21-3. The Giants obviously did it against arguably the worst team in the NFL, and the Cardinals, and the Commanders did it.
Who's arguing that? Can you find one person that's going to argue that?
About the Cardinals being the worst team in the NFL?
Yeah.
The thing I'm going to say to that is the Cardinals found a way to go up 21-0. I don't think the Panthers ever scored 28 points this season. And I think the Panthers are arguably the worst team in the NFL, or part of the worst team in the NFL conversation. I truly think the Panthers have a worse offensive line. Their quarterback looks just as bad. They have no weapons, no run game. Like
Whoa,
JC
Miles!
Horn,
Whoa! Miles Sanders looked good in his first 2 weeks.
Definitely week 1. I don't know about.
what did Miles Sanders do last week?
I don't know about last week, but I mean,
Week 1 he did good.
He looked good.
Yeah.
Again, who did I play week 1? Falcons?
Wow.
Was it
I mean,
Falcons?
Yeah, it was the Falcons.
It was the Falcons.
Well,
I mean, regardless, bro, they're not
Anyway,
as bad as the
defense,
Cardinals.
their defense. Listen to me, Trent.
Let's-
Listen,
Go ahead.
just remember this conversation.
Right.
The Panthers will be lucky to win 2 games this year. The Cardinals went up 28-0. I do not see the Panthers ever scoring 28 points this season. I don't think there's a shot that happens. But that's what I'm saying, arguably. Anyway, did it against arguably the worst team, and the Commanders did it against Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, what we thought was supposed to be a good defense, but the Broncos, who obviously last year, huge disappointment. They're starting as a huge disappointment again this year. So maybe not the worst team, but they're looking like a bottom 5, bottom 10 team like they were last year. So out of these 2 comebacks, which ones do you guys think were more impressive? Start with you, Trent.
Okay.
I'm starting with Trent on this one. I need to hear him say it.
More impressive.
Yeah, which was the more impressive comeback to you?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really see the Commanders Broncos, but we're talking about what's more impressive. I think it would obviously have to be the Commanders because of the level of talent. Like the Broncos, like you said, the Broncos were supposed to have a top tier defense, and the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I did tell
actually had to
Johnny
think about
right before the game, I was like, yo, I got $100 on the Giants. This is about to be an easy one. He was like, yo, can you imagine if you lose? I'm never bet. I'm taking a break from betting if I lose. They were up like 21-0. I went to sleep. And then that's why I missed the Commanders Broncos. Woke up and I was like, no shot.
I was on a drive back, and mind you, Washington's losing 21-3. And a little score pops up on the bottom of my phone while we're driving back from Maryland, and it says Giants 21-0. And I was like, no fucking shot. They're really about to lose to the fucking Cardinals. And then we start coming back, and then I look at their score, and they did come back. And I was like, all right, I can't talk all that shit and lose this fucking game. So
how hurt were you when they got that Hail Mary?
that shit was such bullshit, bro. First off, well, I mean, if you want to talk about the game, we could talk about it, because there was a lot of bullshit going on in that game on both sides because that 2-point conversion, we held the piss out of Cortland Sutton. Like that, like Sean Payton's at his presser talking about, I got hoed again from a no call. Like, you're damn right you did. We grabbed him by his shoulder pad and turned his ass around. Fuck him.
That's
he was
insane.
he was out of bounds. The play before the Hail Mary, they called him down at like the 40, caught a pass on a sideline with 3 seconds left. That shit wasn't a catch, bro. He never had possession of that fucking ball when his right foot was down. And then it was under 2 minutes, so we couldn't challenge it. So we call a timeout so they can review it. They never fucking review the play. They never fucking review it. The announcers are like, yeah, it wasn't a catch. Everyone in the stadium, that wasn't a catch. They never fucking reviewed it. Gave him the ball on the 40 and throws a fucking Hail Mary on the next play. Suck my fucking dick. Anyway, which one to you, Tyson, was the better comeback?
I think it's the Giants.
Let me hear it.
And that's because they went to start the season, they went 6 quarters without scoring a single point. I know everybody and their mama thought, oh, the Giants are done. I'm like, go ahead and Danny Dimes, you got to go. I know people were probably saying some crazy things. You went 6 straight quarters without even scoring a single point, not even a field goal.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane. And for them to come back and look like a completely different team, like, hey, like I know it is against the Cardinals. Like the level of competition is not that great, but
That's
for you to be down how you were and not score a single point, it's impressive for you to be able to flip that switch and turn around. And like you said, they were down by 28 points when it was said and done, and they still came back to win that game. And then they lose Saquon in the game as well.
End the game, though.
He's gonna miss time. Yeah,
Missing time, yeah. I don't know
Yeah, so
how.
that's-
I didn't watch the game. I was watching Washington. I don't know how late he got hurt.
I think Daniel Jones had like 300 passing yards in the second half.
Yeah, he looked like he was worth every bit of 40 million in the second half.
In the second half.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only right answer, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
So the only reason. Go ahead, Trent. Sorry.
6 quarters they were down what 61-0. Like
It was
Yeah.
gross.
6
6
quarters of
quarters.
football.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah,
The
to me,
only reason-
I think they're just about equally as impressive. I mean, 28 points to come back from that, you got to think that's regardless of how
And it
bad
was
that team
all in the
is.
second half.
You got a
Washington
defensive
started the second
coordinator
quarter.
in the NFL who gets paid millions of dollars to stop you, and he has a 28-point lead, and he can't. I don't care who you are. That's impressive as hell
That's
to
impressive.
come back
Yeah.
from. And then on the flip side, you come back from 21-3, and you got Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. I would, in my opinion, I would probably 100% put my money on. There's no way these guys are losing this football game, and then they do.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of pissed that the Commanders won that game because I texted Don. I was like, at least my team ain't the only one that sucks. And I had to text him back 20 minutes later, like, you know what? Never mind.
I turned my phone on, bro. The second not after Marvin's touchdown, but when he ran that punt back to like the 30, I turned my phone on D&D. I didn't want to hear nothing from nobody. I wasn't trying to hear the shit, but yeah,
I was hoping you guys lost because I wasn't trying to hear this shit. I knew
Me
you was gonna
too.
come on here. Yeah. Oh, we're 2-0. We're gonna go into
2-0.
Buffalo. We're beating Buffalo.
First time we've
Yeah.
been 2-0 since 2011, baby.
Yeah, look, here he goes.
We here.
What happened in 2011?
Nothing.
Dan Snyder.
We still sucked. We didn't win a playoff game. I don't think we made the playoffs. That was Rex Grossman was our quarterback in 2011.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Said Rex Grossman. That's crazy.
Anyway, the only
He's a
reason
dog.
I'm gonna go with Washington and not the Giants, and this isn't out of biasness. I
Yes,
want
it
you to
is.
hear. No, I mean, it is. I mean, obviously, I like Washington. I watched the whole fucking game. I mean, Washington's my team, but this is not biased. You cannot convince me that the Cardinals didn't go into halftime and say, "Motherfucker, we're trying to get Caleb Williams. What are we doing?" Like, you're not blowing a 28-0 lead. Like, they're not the Chargers.
I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I was about to say
Yeah.
I was about to say that's false because the Chargers did it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So it happens.
But
Donna.
they went into the locker room, and Jonathan Gannon looked, and Kyler Murray's short ass was standing there in his fucking pull-up bra, a little training bra. And he goes, "I can't have him as my quarterback. Yo, y'all gotta figure this shit out. Y'all gotta throw this shit. Like, I don't know what you gotta do to do it, but make Daniel Jones look better than he is. Do something. Figure it out. We can't win this game." But
Yeah.
There's just no shot they did that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going the Commanders. And to your point, Trent, you'll hear my picks later. But yeah, I am taking the Commanders. Anyway, NFL injuries this week. I only got one big one for you guys. We all know who it is. If you saw what happened, I feel bad for you. That looked painful, but Nick Chubb done for the year. I didn't look to see what the actual injury was. Was it ACL, MCL, Achilles, did his
Yeah.
knee?
It's
Did his,
got to be all of that.
everything.
did his
Yeah,
whole
it's
knee
got to
just
be all of
blow
that.
up? Like it was one of those ones that like I saw a clip, I saw what happened, and it made me put my phone down. Like I just
It's crazy.
And
I
then
watched
he did
I
the-
watched
he
it
did the
live
same
and
thing
I
in
didn't
Georgia.
think it was that bad.
the same injury in Georgia, same exact way. Knee just
they-
stuck in the
they
ground, and his
didn't-
whole leg went.
They didn't show it on like the live game, but because you could see it from
They
like
showed
the
they showed the
opposite
first
angle.
replay, but then they didn't show it anymore.
Yeah,
was
they
like, "We
saw
can't
what
show that."
happened, and they were like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
can't keep showing this." They learned
That's
from what
nasty.
they did from what they did to Tua last year. They kept replaying and fucking wobbling.
Hmm.
But Browns did make moves. I thought Jerome Ford actually came in and had a pretty good game. Straight box score watching. But Johnny and I kind of dug a little deeper today because I was very confused as the Kareem Hunt signing. And he averaged 6.6 yards per carry on 16 attempts, over 100 yards against the Steelers.
Because he broke one big one.
That's exactly right. Broke a 69-yarder. After you take that rush away, he only averaged 2.2 yards per carry after Nick Chubb was destroying them. So you think they probably did want a 1-2 punch, bring back Kareem. Makes sense to me. He knew the offense. He already knows the offense. It's going to be an easy fit. But how do you guys feel about one, Nick Chubb and what this does to the Browns, and then two, obviously with them signing Kareem Hunt today? What do you think this does to them? Go and start with you, John.
I mean, it doesn't look good for running backs wanting to get paid for sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I was real high on Nick Chubb. I wanted to take his over 8.5 touchdowns on a year, but it's a fucking hurt piece. I mean, obviously they're not going to be the same. That defense is real, but Nick Chubb, I think, was trending towards being the best running back in football. Easily the hardest guy to tackle. I don't know. That shit sucks.
Yeah, you weren't here the episode, but Ant and I were in a season-long bet if Nick Chubb was going to lead the league in rushing this year. That was his pick. Yeah, I told him I'd take Bijan, but I want scrimmage yards. He wasn't with it. Yeah, he wasn't with the scrimmage yards. But how do you feel, Tyson? How do you feel about this?
I mean, it's a shitty situation. I mean, prayers to him. Hopefully he could come back. The fact that it's the same knee that he blew up before, I don't know if he can come back. So just hoping nothing but the best for him. Besides that, I mean, I do like the Kareem Hunt signing. Just like Johnny said, it's not looking good for running backs trying to get paid now, but it's showing that teams might just want to carry two running backs because I don't understand why they didn't have Kareem Hunt at the start of the season anyways. Because they were just going to run Nick Chubb to the dirt anyways.
Yeah. I think it's because Kareem Hunt wanted paid like a starting caliber running back. And they
Oh,
were trying to
really?
do it. Yeah. It was he wanted to start a little more. Because I mean, when him and Chubb were running, Chubb got one possession and then Kareem Hunt got one. But he wasn't like a third down back or like every other.
Yeah.
Like they each got their own possessions to keep him fresh. He's like, yo, you use me just as much as you use him. Like, I want money. But what do you think, Trent?
I mean, it's obviously a huge blow to the team. I mean, we always say he's the best runner of the football. This man, he's all reliable. But with that, how good that defense is, I think they could still put a good season together. I think this is just going to be the real test of how good Deshaun Watson is. I guess we're really going to see. I expected a big season from him. He had the whole off season, whole camp, different than last year, just getting thrown into. Let's see if the Browns made the right decision on giving up the world for him. So
Yeah, to me, that ship sailed. I don't think Deshaun's got shit to prove. I think he's done. He'll never be a top 5 quarterback ever again. I don't think he'll ever be a top 10. I think he can still be a serviceable NFL quarterback, but he ain't worth half of what they gave him.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, would you be like if you just got 230 mil all guaranteed?
No,
What
I don't give a shit. Do what you want. I'm getting mines regardless.
I probably would stop playing football straight up.
Remember,
I don't know
Well,
though, bro.
no,
Remember Albert
one bad game.
Remember Albert Haynes
my
went to
money.
Washington? We gave him 100 mil guaranteed, but he was
Yeah.
so fat he didn't pass his physicals and couldn't play for us.
Yeah, he was eating
Like,
good.
Yeah, he was 100 mil. Shit,
Hibachi every day. I mean,
he wasn't eating hibachi. He was eating fucking McDonald's.
Lard.
Why
That motherfucker was eating lard.
Yeah, big motherfucker. But yeah, no, I think the Browns' chances are shot, which upset me because realistically, I think they should be 2-0. Their defense was there. They were on the back of Nick Chubb. As much as I just talked about Deshaun, like I said, I think he's still serviceable. I think he can manage a game. I just don't think we're ever going to see him take over a game like we did when he was in Houston. I think those days are behind him. But I think that team.
Yeah, I don't think he will ever go out and try to be Superman ever again. Like if Nick Chubb's there, obviously the load is on him,
Yeah, like
and
they can
Deshaun would do whatever,
Mhm.
just do what he had to do to fucking win you football games.
Yep.
But
Right, but
he's
now
not-
he's
he's not
gonna
gonna
have to though.
he's not going to. I don't think so.
But so my thing is also like with their play calling, like Deshaun was great because he was off script doing all that crazy thing. Like I think their play calling needs to be a little better, roll them outside the pocket left and right. They got a great offensive line, but they're trying to
Which is
force
why
him to be
they-
a pocket quarterback, and he was never really a great pocket quarterback.
Yeah, but they don't. But the thing is he doesn't need the roll. In Houston, he had to because he had no offensive line.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you can roll out to the right, throw
You're
across
not
your
rolling
body
out if
70
you-
yards, but you can't sit in a pocket and make that same throw. Like that never.
But that's
that
usually when the
doesn't
big
make
plays
sense.
happen, though. Is when like the off script, when you roll out, that's when the big plays usually happen.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to roll out. You just gotta fucking hit.
He
The
needs
receivers
to.
when they're open.
He needs to.
Hit the
'Cause,
receivers when they're open,
yeah, he's been missing a lot of passes.
bro. He's missing a lot, bro. And it's not even just that. Like I'm not gonna sit here and compare him to Justin Fields, but there are times where he's leaving receivers open because he's not getting through his reads fast enough. Like he's staying on Amari for 14 seconds with double coverage. Like get the fuck off of him and look at Elijah Moore. Like I think Deshaun's past it. I don't know, and maybe it is the system. Maybe he just doesn't like the system. Maybe he doesn't understand it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was kind of, I think, similar to Russell Wilson in the aspect of he's running for his life, just making shit happen.
Yeah,
You're not making shit happen when your offensive line is decent enough to where you're not running for your life anymore.
Right.
so I feel like now you don't know what to do.
I see what you're saying. Though.
You can't-
That all
you can't stay
scripted.
on script.
Yeah, corners are just kind of bailing out to make sure you're not taking off, and then someone gets
Mhm.
deep, blown coverages. But all right, last little news tip: Cam Akers just got traded to the Vikings for 2026 pick swaps. Don't know how many picks. Don't know which picks. We just know they were pick swaps for 2026. Tyson, what do you think Cam Akers does for the Vikings?
I mean, I never was like a fan of Cam Akers. I mean, he's going to be a 1-2. Who's their running back now? Madison. He's going to be decent. The Vikings' run game is not going to be like that without Dalvin Cook. I really don't think it's anything big. Let's look to see what the pick swaps are, because I feel like, honestly, depending on how the Vikings' first 6 weeks go, I think they might gut the whole team and try to get a quarterback this year, to be completely honest. Like, why not? It's a quarterback-rich draft, ain't it?
Hell yeah.
Very.
So Kirk Cousins clearly can't win you the big game. You got the
Is
best
it
receiver in
Kirk,
football.
though? Can Justin Herbert win you? Can Justin Herbert win you the big game?
As of right now, we don't know. He's never
Yeah.
had the opportunity. He hasn't been in the league 10 years.
Kirk just threw for fucking damn near 400 yards and lost.
Wait a second. You have
Right,
what, a
right,
20,
so-
28-point lead in the playoffs, right?
27.
Right. I mean, I mean, shit. That sounds like a big game to me. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, but that's his one playoff game. How many times
Yeah.
has Kirk made the playoffs and hasn't done anything?
I agree.
He doesn't even win primetime games.
Yeah, you don't get the name
But again-
Primetime Kirk for no reason.
Right, but again, he just damn near threw for 400 yards against Philly, and they still lost. Like, are you putting Thursday's L on Kirk?
But bro, we know Kirk Cousins he does that. He'll put up
Justin
those
Jefferson
numbers.
threw the ball out of the back.
When
of the
you're
end zone.
down,
We're putting
when
it on
you're
Kirk.
down the whole game, your numbers are going to be skewed.
Mhm.
When you're down the whole game, you got to throw the ball. So that's why his numbers look so great. Don't give him all that credit. And you got JJ, who's getting $150 a game.
We're throwing the ball out the back
And
of the end
Jordan
zone.
Addison looks like he a stud.
He does look fucking great. Dude looks like a
And
freak.
Hawkinson. Like, come on. He has
And no
weapons.
run game.
And none of that's correlating to W's. That's
Not
that's
cool.
crazy.
They also have just as bad of a defense as fucking the Chargers. And we're not gonna sit here and act like Kirk's got everything.
No, the Chargers is worse.
Justin Herbert's got Austin Eckler. He's got Keenan Allen. He's got Mike Williams. And they have the same record. So if Kirk can't win you the big game, are you confident that Herbert can?
I agree with
I'm-
Tyson.
I'm-
like
I'm more
like,
confident in Herbert.
He said
than
Kirk, Kirk Cousins has had years to prove he can win those games, and he doesn't.
Kirk Cousins has never had a defense.
Every year,
Literally, go look at the.
I would want to look at that because I feel like the Vikings had some good defenses here.
been in the situations to win.
They've definitely had good defenses with Daniil Hunter and Eric Kendricks, and they had some dogs. Who was it? Not Patrick Peterson. Was it Patrick Peterson? They
They
had
did
some
have Patrick
dogs. But I don't know. I feel like if I even asked you, Donna, who would you put your money on? You'd say Herbert.
I would definitely say Herbert, but I also wouldn't. I don't know. I think Kirk gets a bad rap for losing these big games, but I mean, are they on him? The Giants lost in the playoffs. That was on him. He played like shit, but like they're not all on Kirk. He just gets a bad rap.
Yeah, the one playoff game, none of our receivers could get open for Herbert.
That's what we're doing.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I love the
It's a-
idea of a
it's a
quarterback
fact.
in this draft, but it's hard to say a guy who's very easily right now going to give you 350 plus a game that we're going to spend a first round pick on a guy to replace that rather than someone on a defense that's giving up fucking 30 points a game.
so okay, so what do they need right now? What gets them to where they need to be? You don't think that they need to gut it?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think offensively they're fine. To me, it's got to be the side of the ball that's giving up fucking all the points. Like when it's time to score, like they can score.
Yeah.
And adding another running back, keeping your number one running back fresh isn't hurting either. I honestly I think offensively they damn near have it figured out.
How did Kirk play week one? Does he have any turnovers?
That's when they lost to the
He
Buccaneers.
fumbled twice and threw a pick in week one.
Oh,
Or threw
okay.
2 picks and fumbled. One of the 2. He had 3 turnovers.
Yeah. That's also what he's known for. Turn the
Week
ball
2,
over.
week 2 in primetime Kirk didn't have a single turnover. Don't do that.
So why do you do that against the Bucks? Like I'd rather him do it against Philly. I'd rather him do it against Philly. You'd be like, oh, he went against Philly. And them
to be
dogs.
fair, it's week one. That should have look at Josh Allen week one. That didn't look like Josh Allen that we've seen
Yeah.
for the past 3-4 years.
Josh Allen not that good.
So the Vikings suck defensively last year.
I do agree. I think he's overrated. He was
So-
asked before.
Thank
Diggs
you,
got
Josh.
there. He was asked before
Thank you.
Diggs got there, but people love to say he's a
They
fucking.
love. Oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
love slicing Josh Allen.
I hate when people just think quarterbacks are great because they have elite receivers. I mean, fuck.
I
He's
just hate
good,
what.
but
they-
he's
yeah, that's
is
what I'm
good.
saying.
But
I hate
imagine,
how they
bro.
just
But
slice 'em.
imagine what fucking Justin Herbert would look like without Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, or what Joe.
What do you
Burrow
mean? He was second last year in passing, and we didn't have him for over half the season. What do you mean?
Yeah, they were hurt. It was like Josh Palmer. Who else?
We had Michael Bambi.
and
Yeah, I
DeAndre
never even
Carter.
heard of Buddy.
Yeah, white guy that was on the practice team.
How many games y'all win last year? What was his yards like last year?
10. We was 10-7. He threw for almost 5,000 yards last year. And we was at like week 14. We didn't have a single receiver over 700 yards receiving.
Yeah, that's crazy. But just put this into perspective. I forgot those 2 were hurt last year. Patrick Mahomes led the league in passing last year. His number 1 receiver was
Juju.
crazy. Then you got
But
Justin
he has
Jefferson.
Travis.
But who's talking about Pat? Like he's a different breed. Like we
Then you
all know
got,
he's
but I'm just saying
the
these
best.
I'm just going through the quarterbacks. He was up there.
Oh
Then
yeah,
Tua,
I mean he's in a
obvious-
league of his own.
Then
Yeah.
Tua obviously had Tyreek and Waddle. Burrow obviously had Chase and Higgins. Goff had Amon-Ra St. Brown. The Eagles had AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. The Bills had Stephon Diggs. The Seahawks had DK and Lockett. The Raiders had Devontae Smith. Like,
So let me tell you this. So how do all those because all those quarterbacks had a time where they didn't have those guys. Besides Joey B, like even at LSU. So is Joey B really that good? But you said Josh Allen, Tua was trash before Tyreek got there.
Well, I mean, the Bengals were ass his rookie year before Jamar Chase, and he did end up getting hurt too.
So I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a league of his own, but some of these guys might not be like that, like we think. Like Patrick Mahomes clearly showed, like, hey, I'm that guy.
I can do it.
Well,
with
I'm throwing a
anybody.
juju.
But then again, they ain't did shit this year. He might need a little bit of help. Just a little
Oh yeah,
bit.
facts.
He
Yeah,
needs
facts.
just catch
You
the
de- you
ball when he
definitely need
throws it
some-
to you. Just catch the ball when he throws it to you.
Or let's say that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just
They ain't
do-
have
bring your
Kelsey
hands
week
with you.
one.
yeah, do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
All right.
a lot of people have been overreacting on that too, bro. Like you can't lose week one, or you're just not good anymore.
it's
In
not
people's
that
eyes.
it's not they lost week one. No one blames the Chiefs or Mahomes losing week one. Kadarius Toney dropped 4 passes. One led to a pick 6, and one was a third down that would have won him the game. Like he single-handedly cost them that game. They were missing Chris Jones. They're missing Travis Kelce. We don't care. What we care about is the fact that through 2 weeks, the Chiefs' offense does not look like the Chiefs' offense we've known for the last 3 years.
But their defense looks phenomenal. Like what
Their
the
defense,
fuck?
the last 8 games of last year, they had a top 5 defense.
With all these young guys.
That's
and
a stat
and they're
no
not
one-
paying
that's a
nobody
stat-
but
That's a
Chris
stat
Jones.
no one wanted to bring up, was that they had a top 5 defense the back 8 weeks of the NFL season last year. And it looks like that carried over.
Oh, 100%.
Because the Lions, we all love that offense. Jacksonville,
Mhm.
we all love that offense.
Jacksonville, 9 points.
Yeah, not a touchdown.
Yeah, the Chiefs is going back to
They're
back.
real.
Oh, they're real. All right, we're going to dive into these segments. Speaking of quarterback play, I got one for you. Tyson's on here. We're going to do a quarterback would you rather.
Graham? I know where this is going.
Herbert's the guy. First name on the board. Josh Allen.
Herb.
Or
Is this to like start your team? Like
you're starting your own team, and Stephon Diggs is not there with you. So yes.
Starting your own team fresh.
Herbert, give me Herbert.
Okay. Lamar Jackson.
I'm taking Lamar.
I'm taking Herb.
starting
If
fresh. I'm going
if it's the
Herbert.
Ravens, if it's
Yeah.
the Ravens, I'm taking Lamar hands down. But
yeah,
not
yeah.
every
If we're starting
coach
your
can
own, yeah.
unlock Lamar.
You're starting fresh. You're starting your own team, so you could build
Yeah,
it like the Ravens.
But if I don't have John Harbaugh, ain't no building it like
Yeah, I would. That's arm talent you can't pass on. I would
Joe
go
Burrow.
Herb.
I'm going Herb.
Yeah, probably Herbert.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts.
Now this is
Herb.
only if we're starting. I mean, at no point would I say I would rather fucking Herbert in Cincinnati over Joe Burrow. That's not the case. I like Joe Burrow in the situation that he's in.
Nathan.
If I'm
Who
starting,
is better at football?
that's still
that's a
Who
is
motherfucker.
better at
But
that's what I'm asking you.
I'm taking Herb.
I'm asking
yeah.
you,
I mean,
who is better at football?
I think
Would you
Herbert's
rather? Because
better.
obviously you would rather the
you got
better
to think
football
about
player.
durability too.
You would rather the better football player at quarterback. Like, who would you rather have?
Herbert.
If I was like, yo, one of these quarterbacks right now, go win a Super Bowl with one of these guys right now. The list I'm
Okay.
giving you.
All right, I'm going Joe Burrow.
Like that's what we're playing for. We're
I'm
playing
not-
for a Super Bowl.
I'm
You
not
got,
mad
I'm
at
giving.
that.
Look, here's your team. Pick one of these quarterbacks. Go win me a Super Bowl. Who are you taking?
Joe Burrow. Or yeah, Joe Burrow.
Are you sticking with Herbert over Lamar and Herbert over Allen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Jalen Hurts.
Herb.
Herbert.
Trevor Lawrence.
I gotta say something about that though, because people for how fast people forget is crazy to me, because you forget how quick the Bills were about to move off of Josh Allen before Stephon Diggs got there. Yeah, they're ready to fucking send him the fuck off, and how fast they were ready to get off of Hurts before Devontae Smith and AJ Brown got there. Yeah. So I'm not that big on Hurts. I mean,
I was literally just talking to Trent about that. I'm not high on Hurts either.
He's looked really good for 1 year so far, but I mean, part of that is due to these two stud receivers you guys just brought in, I would think. But
Whole team.
Yeah. And that
yeah, I mean, that
offensive
team is
line,
fucking
like,
loaded. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and that deep, Jalen Hurts is not that good.
We're not going to sit here. Everything Jalen Hurts has, the Chargers have with Justin Herbert. They're just better. The Eagles' offensive line is the best offensive line in football.
Shit's on ours.
But the Chargers' offensive line is a good offensive line, healthy. We're not
From
going to
a
act like they're a
quarterback
bad
stand,
offensive line.
I mean, has Hurts ever put up anything close to 5,000 yards?
No, but they don't need to, because unlike the Chargers, they beat the shit out of bad teams.
All right, so I'm starting a fresh team. I'm taking that generational arm talent over anything Jalen Hurts.
No, who are you taking?
I am also taking Herbert. I'm not
Okay.
sitting here and acting like I'm taking Herbert. I think Hurts is also overrated. I don't like the fact that people are already putting him in the top 5 and that he's this and that he's that. There are a lot of quarterbacks that I would still take over Jalen Hurts. A lot.
The second best quarterback last year is what the top 100 ranked him.
Yeah, and last year he was the second best quarterback. But what people don't realize, not the second most talented quarterback, not this and that. He was the second best quarterback at football last season. Like, there's no dispute in my opinion. When you look at all his numbers, his passing, his rushing, what he did for that team, he only lost one game last year starting a game. He lost one game. That's it.
It was Burrow. Straight up.
It wasn't. Anyway, but the reason why I'm not huge on him was last year, it was all RPO, slants to AJ Brown. They would press up, and then they would take their shot. You see it the first 2 weeks of this season, they're opening up trying to make it Jalen Hurts' team. They're starting these games out with him slinging a fucking rock, and it's not working. They fall back on that elite-ass run game with the best offensive line of football, and then they start winning these games. Jalen Hurts is in the best. To me, the Eagles are the exact same team as the 49ers. I could drop literally anybody in at quarterback, and they would win you fucking football games.
That's a fact.
But no, I'm not a fan of Hurts. My last one, Trevor Lawrence.
Herbert.
Oh,
I know Johnny loves him some Trevor Lawrence.
I love them both.
Me personally, I am taking Trevor Lawrence. I watched what he did last year with his number 1 receiver being Christian Kirk and his number 2 being Zay Jones. And he was elite. I can't wait to see what he can do. It's going to suck this year because I'm pretty sure he lost Brandon Scherff for the year, which is his best offensive lineman. And they got their own shit they got to figure out. But I can't wait to see what that offense does this year.
That's tough. I'm leaning towards Trevor Lawrence just because.
But again, mine is I just think he's done with that. I think if you give Trevor Lawrence a Keenan Allen and a Mike Williams, oh lordy.
I think him just his second year with Doug Peterson, he's trending in the right direction. And
yes,
the Chargers starting out 0-2, having as tough schedule as they have, trending a little downwards for Hurt. I would go Trevor Lawrence.
So Donna, the past 3 years with the Chargers and the shit that we would have been in with Brandon Staley, how do you think Trevor Lawrence would have done?
About the same.
Last year, because you said if he had Keenan and Mike.
No, I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about like Herbert gets knocked for that. I've just seen what Lawrence has done without either one of those types of talents. So imagine what he would do with those talents. You guys would still suck. That's a coaching issue. Same reason Trevor Lawrence sucked his rookie year.
Do you think you're knocking Herbert because of the coaching, because he hasn't fully been unlocked yet?
So I think that is true. I'm knocking him for that because up until this year, he literally did not throw the ball. Like everything we saw was like you were scared to use Herbert. Last year, I'm not kidding. He was bottom. He might not have been last. He was bottom in yards per attempt. Yeah.
Oh,
like you guys babied him so much. Eckler was getting 14 targets a game. Like, you could say you're missing your two best guys. That's fair. But they had Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. Is it
Yeah,
that much different?
No, that's better than what we had, 100%.
But is it that much different? Neither one of you guys had a number one.
But they paid
They
Christian
had a
Kirk
number
72 million or
that,
something like
he's
that.
still a number two, and we all know that. They had a
Yeah,
number
but we
two.
didn't even have
as
another
number
two,
one.
is what I'm saying.
Right, but they had a number two and a number three. You had a number three and a number four. Neither one of you guys had a one. Like,
We definitely didn't have 4. Josh Palmer, I'll put him at a number 3. But Michael Bandy and DeAndre Carter,
DeAndre Carter was R3 2 years ago, so you better put some respect on him.
I was gonna say I don't say much down him. But yeah, but no, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. though.
But that's it. I just want to see what Herbert. That's why I was so excited for Kellen Moore this year, because he would really unlock that offense. And I think he's done. I think Herbert looks really good these first 2 games. It's not his fault you're not winning them.
Yeah, so
But
let me give
I
you this
also
stat
watched
too.
Herbert make a lot of dumb ass decisions, bro. I watched him throw a
I'm not
double
knocking
coverage
him
to
for
Mike Williams
anything.
twice last week.
Say that one more time.
Johnny.
No, you, Donna.
I watched him throw a double coverage twice last week to Mike Williams. Straight booted up and clamped on the right sideline.
Are you talking about? So the one in overtime, I think, is that the one you're talking about?
That's one of them.
Yeah. No, that shit was bad. But but yeah, I feel like he is gonna be fully unlocked this year. So this is why the Chargers always Charger. This shit is so stupid. So let me read out the stat to you real
Just
quick.
like the Lions always lying.
All right, so in the Super Bowl era, so the Chargers scored 58 points with 0 turnovers and 0-2 and 0-2. In the Super Bowl era, 32 other teams have scored 50 or more points in the first 2 games with no turnovers in the first 2 games, and the Chargers are the only team to lose both games. So over 50 points with no turnovers, first team to start off 0-2.
You know what's crazy? Washington is 50 points, 3 turnovers, and we're 2-0.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I mean, we lost by a total of 5 points, like the Chargers. But 58 points in 2 games, you really
guys
can't
know
ask much more for our offense.
You can't. You know the Cowboys' point differential right now is 60 points.
Throughout 2 weeks.
That's
insane.
freaking crazy.
70-10, bro. It's nuts. All right. Last thing. Last segment. Build your defense. Defensive tackle, edge, corner, safety, linebacker. Order goes as follows: Johnny, then Tyson, then myself, then Trent. We're gonna try to body this out quick. Active players only, and then we're getting into the pick'em. So start with you, Johnny. You get the first pick.
Say that what we're doing: edge,
Defensive tackle, corner, linebacker, safety.
I mean, I'm starting with Micah Parsons.
That's a gimme. Go ahead, Tice.
Shit. I'm gonna start with fuck. Give me PS2.
Fuck.
Oh, I love that.
That's. I didn't think any of you guys were going to take him.
I am taking TJ Watt.
Damn you, bro.
That's who.
I know who's Trent's taking too.
Who's that?
But I put money on it. I'm not saying it, but I know.
Give me Myles Garrett and
That caught me off guard.
what's the other you said defensive tackle?
Yeah, defensive tackle, edge, corner, safety, linebacker.
Is it 2 edges?
Just one.
Okay.
Damn, this is tough. Give me Sauce.
I knew it. That's exactly what I was thinking. Pussy.
Yep.
All right, so fuck, man. Linebacker. Shit. Or D tackle. I'm gonna go Fred Warner at linebacker.
Like that.
All right. Give me Chris Jones.
I will take Aaron Donald and Roquan Smith.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Aaron Donald made it all the way back to you.
All right, give me Matt Milano, linebacker.
Okay. That's sneaky good.
Yeah, I think he's a dog.
People
I
don't
think,
give
like,
him the respect he
behind-
deserves because they thought it was all
Fred-
Tremaine Edmonds last year.
Yeah,
But Milano might be the best coverage linebacker. Like,
yeah, he's a problem. After I seen him jump over Josh Jacobs' back to get that pick,
yeah, he's a dog. Oh, it's on me. I am going to take Derwin James.
Son of a bitch.
fucker.
Yeah,
That's
I,
what
I
I
was.
was.
Yeah,
Give me Levante David and Dexter Lawrence.
Ew.
Levante David.
Dexter Lawrence? He's ass.
How?
Doo-doo
Look
sauce.
look at the numbers. He sucks.
He sucks, bro.
He sucks.
He is the most overrated defensive tackle in the NFL. I
I
appreciate it.
like
Trent.
Dexter.
Good for you. You can have him. I am going to take Jair Alexander.
I already had a corner, so
All right, so it's back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Minka.
Love that. pick.
damn.
Back to back.
I believe you need a corner and a safety, right?
Yeah. Probably go Denzel Ward and bro, who's good at safety anymore?
That's why I had to make sure I got Derwin, bro. The
Better
safety's
not
a
say.
spot.
I'm
You better not say who I'm grabbing.
take-
I'm
you-
just
hey,
I'm
you
just
you
I'm
can
taking
take-
a big name, Jamal Adams.
That's literally just a name. He's ass. You could have took the other safety out of Seattle. Probably been better for you. Was it
Who?
Quandre Diggs?
Oh
Who's
yeah.
picking
yeah.
now?
Quandre Diggs a dog. It's mine, and I have the fuck position do I have left? Oh, defensive tackle. I'm taking the boy Trent should have taken, Deron Payne.
Buddy said Dexter Lawrence. That is
Buddy
wild,
said
ain't it?
Dexter Lawrence? Mind you, Deron Payne had more tackles for loss, more sacks, more tackles, more fucking QB hits, pressures, all that. Talking about, I like Dexter.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big year. Watch.
No, he's not. They suck.
Watch.
They
Tyson's
give 20,
last pick
28 points to the Cardinals and 40 to Dallas.
All right,
They've
give
given him
me
70 points in 2 weeks.
said him. He.
He's part of that defense.
I feel like I'm missing an edge rusher.
Oh my God, you are. Oh my God, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, we all are.
Yeah, no,
can't
we're
we
all
all
not.
I gotta look this up because
Mine was a
go
1-2.
without
You
it.
better know. You better not look this up.
Bro, I'm like going blank on edge rushers.
Tyson, he's literally arguably the best edge rusher in the league. Arguably.
Yeah, I don't know how.
His brother plays for your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
No,
Can
no,
you make it
no. Okay,
more
so
obvious?
Nick Bosa is who I was thinking of, but I'm like, yo, is he kind of overrated?
What?
Hmm?
But give me Nick.
Is he
I'm a-
kind of over? Joey's overrated. Nick is him.
No, I don't think Joey's overrated at all. I feel like they got
Joey
him
was.
just right sucky.
He trashed now, but he was overrated. Motherfuckers wanted him to be good so bad.
Yeah, but how you let your little brother outshine? But
But Nick's him, bro. He's not overrated.
He is.
I was surprised
but that
Trent took
defensive
Garrett
line is
over Nick.
crazy.
I was surprised Trent took Garrett over Nick.
I like Miles. My
like
last
Miles,
pick,
too.
I'm gonna take Jesse Bates.
I was thinking him. That was the first safety that came to mind, actually.
No one took Cameron Curl? No love for your boy. It's crazy.
This man just wants Washington players, bro. That's all he wants.
All right.
All right, so who
Ant's
got the
not.
best squad?
Oh, it's me for sure. It's not even a question. Go
All
ahead.
right, so you have Deron Payne, TJ Watt, Fred Warner, Jair Alexander, and Derwin James.
I won that shit.
That's
I don't care what
tough,
you.
too.
I don't care what
That's
y'all
that's
tell me.
solid as shit. That's solid. All right, Johnny has Aaron Donald, Micah Parsons, Roquan Smith, Denzel Ward, and Jamal Adams.
Yeah, I just don't
That's-
like the Jamal
It's the
Adams.
Jamal that fucks him.
Yeah, it's solid, but it ain't crazy.
All right, Trent, you got Dexter Lawrence, Myles Garrett, Levante David, Sauce Gardner, and Jesse Bates.
That's mid. That's big.
That's mid as fuck, bro. At least you said it,
I'm
though.
glad, yeah, I'm glad you admitted it though, bro.
I didn't realize how like bare safeties were.
Yeah,
After you took Minka, I was like, who else is there even? Like, it's Derwin and Minka. It's 1A,
Yeah.
1B, and then everybody else.
no, that's a fact. All right, and then I got Chris Jones, Nick Bosa, Matt Milano, PS2, and Minka.
It's tough.
It don't
Yeah,
sound
I don't
Depending
know.
on how you feel about Matt Milano.
Yeah,
I feel like you
realistically,
could
because
swap y'all out. All three of y'all could win, I think.
nah, Johnny can't win that.
Yeah,
I don't
not with
know,
Jamal.
bro. But those other names are just
He's
crazy.
got Aaron Donald and Micah Parsons. That's what.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's crazy. And then Roquan.
I'm not a Roquan guy though, so like,
I like Roquan.
I like.
Yeah,
Roquan.
honestly, I think Fred Warner's the best linebacker. Matt Milano's the second.
Third.
I don't think about that. I don't know if there's a
This
way.
year.
We don't like TJ Edwards.
Not over them.
Buddy
TJ
had like
Edwards.
148 tackles last year for the Eagles.
Not over them.
No, not definitely not. Not even over Roquan.
Fair enough. All right. I think I won that shit, but it's definitely between me and Tyson
Yeah,
because I
That
think
Jones-
TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, preference. Chris Jones, Deron Payne. Chris Jones has done it. He's in his. Like we've seen him in his prime. I think Deron, like he's hitting that stride now.
Yeah.
And then linebackers, like you said, I think Fred Warner is better than Milano, but depending on how high you have Milano, that's 1A, 1B.
Mhm.
And then corners, I mean, you got PS2, I got Jair. I think PS2 is better, but again, Jair is right there.
Jair,
And then we got 1 and 2 at safety. So I don't think there's really a conversation for Johnny.
Or me.
No, you're definitely beat. You're last. You said last. But Johnny, right? If Johnny would have took like Quandre Diggs over Jamal Adams, I could see it. Like you took the wrong Seattle safety. Or like Justin Simmons.
That's crazy.
Justin Simmons.
Justin Simmons, that's a good one. If you would have had that, that'd have been.
Buda Baker. Like
I've never
I
been
know
high on
I know
Buda.
he's in Arizona, but like he's still solid. Fucking Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh yeah, the Honey Badger. If he would have took that,
Like there's still safeties out there. I wasn't trying to give him no names because
like Jordan Poyer, yeah, there are some good safeties.
yeah, bro, Micah Hyde.
Yeah, there's some dogs.
There's some good safeties. He just didn't fucking know what off the top of his head. And
Right. I mean, because that took us a minute to even start thinking about it.
yeah. But anyway. All right. Well, that was that. That was fun. We're going to dive into the last segment of the day. And Anthony does apologize for not being here, but my man always does his research and he wanted to make sure you guys did not put this in your parlays this week. So I'm speaking for Anthony with his parlay buster of the week. Do not take Monday Night Football, Eagles and Bucks. Do not take the Eagles spread. Don't do it. I know that -6 looking real pretty, but don't touch it. God damn. I'll show my shit off. Do not take that shit. I know it's looking pretty, but since the line opened, we'll give you a couple stats. When two undefeated teams play, the home team is 67, 47, and 3 against the spread. Which for bettors, that's 59%. You know, once you hit that 60%, that's the ticket. So the Bucks are at home. They are both undefeated, so let's not threaten Vegas. Home dogs are 29 and 14 against the spread. So 67% of the time, home dogs when 2-0, when undefeated teams are playing, home dogs cover the spread. at 67%. The line has already moved almost 2 full points. The Bucks are now only 4.5-point favorites. When Ant gave me this news, they were 6, or the Eagles are 6-point favorites. It's already down to 4.5. So just lets you know he was onto something. That line's already moving like crazy. I know it's easy to lean the Eagles with as dominant as they are, but the numbers don't lie, man.
Yeah, and that's one of those trap games as well. I mean, I think everybody was sleeping on the Bucks, but clearly their defense is better than what we thought it was.
Defense is finally healthy.
Yeah, their offensive line seems decent. I mean, it can either go one way where they get blown out by 30, or it's going to be a competitive game to them.
Here's my thing too. I think we all underestimated Mike Evans.
Yeah, and Chris Godwin.
I
Like,
think we all just thought like, yo, Baker's throwing the ball. They're not going to be shit. Like, we forgot they made Jameis Winston look like a serviceable NFL quarterback. He got benched for Andy Dalton. So
and
like,
then Baker with protection is decent.
Yeah. So yeah,
I like that.
yeah. But that was his parlay buster. Make sure you don't put that in your tickets. All right, diving into it, we got the real reason we're on here, and that's the parlay. So
Let's get to the money.
we'll get to the money. I gotta give mine out before we do these picks because mine obviously goes with the NFL because your boy don't miss in the sport. Once basketball season comes, my record goes to shit. But during football, I got y'all. So here's where we're going. To start it off with Johnny. Oh no. That's Thursday Night Football, Scott, isn't it? Anthony starting us off tomorrow night. 49ers minus 6.5 against the Giants. That should be a 40-0 blowout, just like it was with the Cowboys.
Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that. Starting off the ticket strong with a nice 6.5-point favorite. Then we're going to college football. And Johnny is taking Florida State to cover 2.5. I believe they're playing Clemson. Who are they playing?
I think they are playing Clemson. I think
they're
you're
playing
right.
Clemson. I think they're playing Clemson. Florida State minus 2.5. We love that.
Jordan
Next.
Travis, dog.
Next, Trent, you want to throw in your NFL leg?
Yes, sir, I do. So I am going with Jamar Chase. Injured or not, I think Burrow is due for a bounce back game, which equals for Chase to have a big day. It's due. He's the top 2 pick in majority of leagues. He's gonna find the end zone this week.
Don't hate that pick. I do not hate that pick.
Should have.
Jamar's due for a touchdown at some point.
Oh, I'm 2-0. Might as well
Yeah.
keep the streak going,
You got to. You know what I'm saying? Ant's about to owe me a shotgun. Go ahead, Tice. What'd you bring for us?
All right, so I also got a player prop, and I got Kirk Cousins over passing yards at 291.
Okay.
The Chargers are currently giving up over 10 yards per pass attempt. So 291 passing yards means Kirk Cousins got to throw the ball 29 times. He's getting up at least 40. He's gonna have a 350-yard game.
That's a fucking line and a half, and I'm glad. I like the unbiasedness you're going against your own team. I respect that. I could personally never, but
I actually like that because then say doesn't hit that, your team wins. You know what I mean?
yeah, because if Kirk doesn't hit that, you won. He doesn't throw for 300, you won the
he
game.
wins the game.
So you're happy. Even if you lose, you're happy. But if Kirk does throw for 450, I'm pissed off because like you didn't have to do that. Like, why did my team? Anyway, I'm gonna end it off with the Travis Etienne anytime touchdown. For those of you who don't follow me, follow these picks, if you were ever going to, this is the one. I can't speak for anybody else. I didn't dive into the research. They all sound good. The Houston Texans have given up 6 rushing touchdowns in 2 weeks. Etienne has got to score rushing or receiving, bro. That's it. I don't see a way in hell he doesn't. They've given us 6 rushing in 2 weeks. I just need one more. Travis Etienne, anytime touchdown. Let's get it. Let's make it 3-0 the first 3 weeks. All right, let's dive into these pick'em games. We're going to start you guys off with the Giants and 49ers on Thursday Night Football.
49ers. Yeah, easy. Next. Who you like?
Breathe, buddy. Trent, can you put my picks in?
Yeah, I got you.
But
Don, you
So-
putting San Fran. It's not even close.
it's not, but I like to give my little one-liners, you know what I'm saying? I like to give my one-liners, my reasonings. So the 49ers defensive line that we literally just boasted and bragged about is going against the Giants, who have given up 10 sacks in 2 games. Dallas sacked Daniel Jones 7 times weeks 1. I think the 49ers defensive line is just as good. And I think this is going to be close to the same type of game as that Cowboys game was. I think the Giants did figure it out, and I don't think it's a shutout, but I do think it's 35-15, 35-18, somewhere around there. Next thing, I talked to a Giants fan at work who kind of knows ball. He said Brian Daboll wasn't calling plays week 1 or the first half of week 2. He said he let the new OC call plays.
Is that why he looked pissed off? He did look a little off on the
I haven't confirmed. I haven't been able to deny, so I have no idea. But Giants fan told me that, and the way they looked in that second half, with if Daboll was back to calling plays, it's fucking believable. Because to not score any points in 6 quarters and then put up 31, something changed. So
And just real quick before you move on, just throwing this out there. The Chargers front office is cheap. We could have got Brian Daboll, but we decided to spend less money and get Brandon Staley. But go ahead.
yeah, you also could have got Eric Bieniemy instead of Kellen Moore.
I mean,
I just think Bieniemy is a better successor than Kellen Moore is to being a head coach. Kellen Moore might be the better play caller for you guys right now because he's actually done it before
yeah.
on offense, but I think Bieniemy is a better replacement for Staley. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Broncos at Dolphins. Are we taking our time on this one?
No, I got the Dolphins.
Go ahead, Tice. Say it. Say it with your chest, buddy.
No, I'm picking the Dolphins. I can't afford the Broncos to win.
Yeah, nah. The Commanders just put up 35 against the Broncos. The Dolphins' offense is probably better than ours. Maybe. Might just be a little bit better than ours. The Broncos did put up 33 on Washington. Their offense looked all right, but when you take out the Hail Mary, now it's down to 26. Then you also take out the 2 deep 60-yard bombs. That's 2 more of their touchdowns. They had a lot of big explosive plays, a lot of broken coverages. Miami hasn't done that yet this season. Their defense actually looks pretty good without Jalen Ramsey. So I don't see that happening, which I think the Broncos offense hit big plays against a defense that wasn't expecting it in blue coverage. This game's going to go bad. Dolphins 3-0. Broncos are 0-3. Next game is the Patriots at the Jets. And before we all go crazy, I need you guys to hear 2 stats. Zach Wilson versus Bill Belichick in 4 games. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He has a 50.1 completion percentage. He has never beaten the Patriots. Ever.
All those numbers, I don't care because I was going with the Pats anyway.
Yeah. Tua's never lost to Bill. Zach's never beat Bill. Tua kept it going. I don't see why Bill can't keep it going this week. Zach sucks. Don't think about it.
Give me the Jets.
You wild as fuck.
Say, give me the Jets. You got the Pats done?
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
I love those matchups. Like Mike Shanahan, I'll never pick Sean McVay to be Mike Shanahan. Ever. Or
Don't
Kyle
have it.
Shanahan. I keep saying Kyle Shanahan. I'll never pick that shit to happen. Texans at the Jags.
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 Yep. Jags got to bounce back after only putting up 9 points. The Texans have given up the second highest completion percentage in the NFL. As
They
well
must be behind us.
as well as well as the most rushing touchdowns with 6 in 2 games, which is why that was my parlay piece. Jags win by double digits. Titans at the Browns. 2 teams that want to lean on the run game. One just lost their RB1. One RB1 doesn't look like the same RB1 we're accustomed to. Who do you guys got?
I got the Browns.
I got Tennessee.
Yeah, I got the Titans as well.
I think Vrabel is just I don't know. I don't know what he does over there, but
I think
his guys ready to play.
Bro, he's paying him out of his pocket like every time they do something good, I guess. I've never seen a team fight harder for a coach in my life.
And the Browns are not gonna be able to run the ball. And
Yeah, I think it really depends on how fast Kareem Hunt gets into the system. Like how soon can he play?
yeah, but Vrabel's not going for none of that. Playing
But
or
he
not.
knows the system already.
But how soon is he allowed to play? That's what I'm saying.
He can play this week.
He wouldn't have to go through their physicals and do all that crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
sure.
I don't know what the rules are anymore. Falcons at the Lions.
Give me Atlanta.
Lions got a top 10 rush defense. Falcons got a top 10 rush offense.
I'm taking the Lions.
Detroit wants to throw the shit out of the ball, but the Falcons have given up the third fewest passing yards so far this season. This is a battle of what I want to do, you're good at stopping, and what I want to do, you're good at stopping. So at that point, comes down to coaching styles. And for me, I like the Falcons. I think time of possession wins this game. And when Bijan and Algier are going for over 200 yards every week, like, good luck. They're going to eat
Yeah.
clock. They're going to win low-scoring games all year. Saints at Packers. I put my notes in here for Ant specifically. Jordan Love is not him. Knock it the fuck off. Buddy isn't even averaging 200 yards a game. Yes, he does have 6 touchdowns. Yes, he does have 0 interceptions. And for that reason, I am picking him to beat the Saints. No Jamal Williams, no Kamara. This is the last week for Kamara's suspension. I think the Saints offense should be predictable, but this isn't because Jordan Love is good. It's because he is serviceable.
I have the Packers as well.
Yeah, give me the pack.
Fucking Anthony is blowing my shit out talking about how good Jordan Love was. I looked his stats up. He had 3 touchdowns, no picks, but 53% completion percentage with 189 yards in the fourth quarter. Like, that's what we're gassing up in 2023?
And the Saints haven't looked good either.
No, they're just winning. Like,
Yeah.
That is not impressive. All right, game of the week. Bills at Washington. Bills at the Commanders.
Game of the week. Give me
Yep.
the Bills.
Yeah, give me the Bills as well.
I'm
I
gonna tell you
wonder.
this.
I wonder what's the line at. I'll probably take your
We
points. though.
were 6.5.
Yeah, I would take that.
If this game stays close, Washington's gonna win it. If the Bills turn the ball over, Washington will win this game. If Washington can establish the run game, we will win.
Shut up. Next.
But in all
Sound like a
reality,
politician.
but in reality, I do think the Bills are going to come out with a certain level of desperation. 'Cause I think the Dolphins go up 3-0, and I don't think they want to fall behind at 1-2. I don't think they can afford to do that if they want to win this division. And with as tough as the AFC is with all these quarterbacks, we need to win your divisions. You don't want to get stuck in these nasty wild card games as a fourth versus 5 or 3 versus 6. You don't want to get stuck in those games. So I think they come out crazy, and Washington started off slow the first 2 weeks of the season. Last 2 weeks started off super slow. If we do that against the Bills, they will smoke us. So,
But you have to pick your team.
now I'm picking Washington again. I think we have a chance of winning this game if we can. As long as at the end of the first half we're not losing by more than 10 points, I think we win this game.
Yeah.
Chargers at Vikings.
Chargers.
Oh fuck! See now, no, I don't like that. Why'd you both say that at the same time? Oh, that was gross.
I feel like it's more of a must-win for us than it is for the Vikings.
I would agree with that. I think the Vikings start at 0-3. They'd have to catch the Lions at 1-2 because the
Yeah.
Bears are 0-3 and the Packers will be 1-2. The Vikings lose, they're only 1 game out. You guys lose, and your shots at the playoffs are pretty much done.
Right.
I'll go
Because-
Chargers for that reason. In my notes, Chargers suck, Vikings suck. Don't bet on either team.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, don't bet on the Chargers, but for this
Already did.
game,
Yeah, you're wild.
damn, Trey, you wild as shit.
He's a true degenerate. You guys and the
Don't.
Vikings are on my no bet list.
Let's go. Bold
For
up,
a
baby.
whole
That's what y'all
season, I
say.
will not- I
That's
don't
what y'all
care-
say, right?
I don't
Hey,
hold
hold
up.
up, baby.
I don't
Yes,
care
sir.
who does Cardinals.
I
I'm
might
not
need to
betting
borrow
on
that
this.
one on Sunday real quick.
Hey,
All right. That was enough screen time for the Chargers. They're not good enough to have this kind of conversation. Colts at Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, it's not even really.
yeah, the Ravens.
Yeah, no Anthony Richardson, no Jonathan Taylor, no chance. Panthers at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks.
Yeah. Ant, again, hope you're watching. This one was for you. Panthers, I don't need stats. I don't need news. Until Bryce Young wins a game, I'm not fucking picking you.
Mm.
See what I
That was
did
a little poem.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
oh,
that.
hey, bars.
there? All right, Chiefs. First,
8 Mile.
Bears. Bears at Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Chiefs,
I'm
and,
going
Chiefs
with-
and take their points.
I got a question for you. Do you guys think Justin Fields has gotten worse?
Yeah, I've seen some.
Like some crazy
Plays where-
regression.
Yeah, so there was a play, like not taking too much time, where he got sacked. So it was a meme. It was like, believe it or not, Justin Fields got sacked
on this play, and it was
guy wide open, a clean pocket. I don't know if, like, how much truth is behind that, but if
No,
that's
it's
true,
100%.
he's bad
100%.
at football.
What happened was he was wide open on his right. He didn't throw it to him. He ran his progression to the left, and then he decided to run up the middle, and he fucking ran his own line
the
and
pocket
bounced
closed.
back. Yep.
Yeah, so they just need to put Tyson Bagent in, Mr. Martinsburg, and move on.
Did you see his interview after the game?
Justin
Yes.
Fields?
Yeah, they asked him about his pick six that he threw.
No.
Said in the game. He said it was a bad play call. You shouldn't call a screen in your own end zone because I was at risk of taking a sack and we would have lost anyway. So I threw the play. So I threw the ball. And then did you see the
That's wild.
fuck
Their play gonna do suck, but that's wild.
the Bucks, who got the pick six? You see the interview he had in the locker room?
No, I didn't see anything.
The Bears ran the exact same play 3 times. That exact same screen they ran twice before. Same formation, same counter look, everything, the exact same.
So that is wild then.
So they were like, you know what? I know what you're gonna do. So he literally touched the lineman, went back, and just, yep. Yeah, crazy. We all knew it was coming. He was just the guy that got down there. He was lucky. Like, it was his time to make that play, and we told him what he had to do. He did it. He caught the pick, and he ran it in. Good for him. Steelers at Raiders.
Come on, man. We don't even need to have this conversation.
I
You
think
know
we
where
do,
I'm
Trent.
going. You know where I'm going.
All right, Tyson, you look like you're on the fence. Can I give you some stats real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Steelers
on.
have given up the most rushing yards and most yards per carry so far through 2 games.
Free Nick
Now-
Chubb.
They went against CMC and the 49ers. They played Nick Chubb for 1 quarter
75 yards. Nick Chubb.
in 1 quarter.
Nick Chubb.
And then they gave up 100 yards to Jerome Ford.
That one big run.
106 yards.
And
Big
then they got
explosive
Josh Jacobs coming
plays.
out.
Are explosive. And Josh
Bro, that
Jacobs,
wasn't to play. It was a fluke play. Buddy ran to the right. Did
Mhm.
a Barry Sanders come back around the field and went buzzing the
So
left.
you're complaining that Jerome Ford is Barry
Stayed
Sanders.
home. Nobody stayed home.
That's what we're
You know what
doing.
I mean?
Right. Bad. That's a bad defense. Anyway,
Bad play.
Josh Jacobs against the Bills, 9 carries, -2 yards.
Yeah.
Bounce back game for Josh Jacobs. I think he runs all over the Steelers. But with that being said, I think the Steelers do the exact same fucking thing.
I'm taking the
The-
Steelers.
I'm taking the Raiders, but I think this game is just which running back shows up. Najee hasn't done shit this season. Josh Jacobs hasn't done
Oh.
shit.
At Canada.
Is Minka playing?
I have
You
no
know,
idea.
Why wouldn't he? He finished the game.
No, he didn't.
He I swear he finished the game.
Nah, he went out again and he was out for the game.
I mean,
Yeah, he went back to like the locker room, everything.
he might, yeah. He might be out then. I still
Don,
like the Steelers.
are you checking that real quick?
Still like the boys.
He was released from the hospital today.
So that don't sound like he's playing if he was just released.
I don't think so either. He was ruled out with chest injury.
Yeah.
Is this ruled out of?
Still give me the Steelers though.
Let's get it. Is that it?
No.
We got one
I'm
more
reading
game.
this. We got a couple. Yeah. I don't trust that. I don't know if he's playing or not. That was ass. Said ruled out for the game, but they're talking about ruled out for the rest of the Browns game. Like, obviously, bitch, if he's in the hospital. Anyway, Eagles at Bucks, first Monday night game.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Is there a shot in fuck that the Bucks beat the Eagles and go 3-0?
Take it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Be that guy. Call the shot. You know what I mean?
Bro, Philly's offense looks like shit without Shane Steichen.
Yeah, and the Bucks rush defense look like, or their run defense is like that. or that's what it seems like so far. So if Philly can't run the ball, but you're taking the Eagles, bro. I don't know why you thinking that hard.
I'll probably put money on the Bucks, but I'll take the Eagles in this.
Yeah, I'll probably take the Bucks points.
Yeah,
It'd have been
no,
nice if it was at that 6.
I'll
Still,
probably
been
throw a
nice.
couple dollars just on the money line.
Yeah.
Rams at Bengals to end the week.
Give me the Bengals with my parlay piece. It's only right.
I like the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Like the Rams.
I don't trust. I hope I'm wrong. I don't trust Joe Burrow to be healthy this whole game. Even if he does play it, I don't think he lasts the whole game. And I do also think that as long as Matt Stafford has a white receiver to throw to, they're going to be just fine. So,
Bro, but okay, speaking of that, could you imagine if Cooper Kupp was healthy? He would have had 40 catches in 2 games.
Cooper?
Yeah, if
45.
Cooper Kupp was 45. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because Buddy has what, 30 already?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's a fucking cheat code. I swear next year in fantasy, I'm just going to look at the white receivers on the Rams and just hope for injuries. Like, that is ridiculous. And Tutu Atwell looks really good too, by the way. I'm not, like, all jokes aside, their offense looks a lot better than I thought they would. Cam Akers looked like shit for them week 1. 22 carries for 29 yards. Absolutely disrespectful and terrible. Kyron Williams comes in and puts up 100 yards. Like, shout out to him. 52 on the ground, 48 through the air. That offense looks good. That offensive line looks sustainable.
They look a lot better than like what anybody expected.
Yeah, well, I think we're all just worried about that offensive line. The no Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He didn't like throwing the ball to Allen Robinson, so I thought it was just going to be Tyler Higbee or bust. But I didn't know Puka Nacua was just him. So.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. But that's all I got for you guys this week on the No Nonsense Sports Podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in with us, and we will see you next week.
Yep. Thanks again,
All right,
Tyson.
fellas. Yep. Appreciate y'all for having me.